Hello, this is Pastor Nick Hood. Thanks so much for joining us for worship today, Plymouth United Church of Christ. Let me share with you what's going on. I'm preaching a sermon today about reconciliation, but it's also a sermon about love, a special kind of love. I call it a ride or die love. Ride or die love goes back to the 1950s, if not before, in America with the motorcycle community. People who supposedly love their motorcycle and riding the motorcycle so much, they literally would ride or die. It meant everything to them. And the point that I'm making in this sermon today is that you don't really have love until you found a love that is a ride or die love. This is a love that loves you so much, they will do things that they really don't want to do. And there's an example of this in Genesis 35, verse 2. Where Jacob makes the decision to go home to reconcile with his brother Esau. And as right when they're on the threshold of meeting Esau, he tells his wives, it's funny, he doesn't tell them before, but they are almost there by Esau. He tells them, put away your foreign gods, take off your clothes, bury your clothes, wash yourselves, take off your gold rings in your ears, because you're going with me back to the land of Canaan. And my people, my mother and my father won't understand it if you show up with foreign gods. Now Jacob's been with these two wives, their sisters, the polygamous society, Rachel and Leah. He's been with them for 20 years. For 20 years, he's put up with their foreign gods. This is the first time between chapters 29 and 35 that we learn that Jacob put up with these foreign gods. That was an anathema to the ancient Israelites. And so he's put up with them. Now he's telling them, when we go to my people's house, when I introduce you to my mother and my father, they're not going to understand foreign gods. They consider these idols. And so we learn a little glimpse about the relationship between Jacob, Rachel, and Leah. And what we learn is that they have a degree of tolerance for each other's peculiarities. And I'll be talking about that a little bit more in depth during the sermon. But I want you to ask yourself, what kind of love do I have? Is my love a ride or die love? Or is my love a sometimey kind of love? Is my love a part-time kind of love? Or is it a genuine love that will go with you to the end of the earth? I'm going to raise that question. And then the other thing I'm going to raise in this sermon is ways that you can seek out a ride or die love. And I think we find the ride or die love before we get married. And I'm going to talk to you about that, about how to find a love that will go with you to the end. So thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be starting worship shortly. Pick up the phone, call a friend, tell them Nick Hood's on the line, and worship is about to begin. And most of all, I'm praying for you. God bless.